Hola, Mina-san! Welcome back for another round of Magic Commander deck tune-up. But today is also a special day. Before I cover Shorikai Genesis Engine Commander deck, um, I went to AnimeNYC over the weekend. And it was interesting. It was fun. It was a fun thing. I had a good time. I'm sorry for the noise. I'm dropping everything over here. I do apologize for that. But the point I'm trying to make is simply this. Um, Even though it's an anime convention, there were tabletop stores, hobby stores, selling, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon singles and everything, and they also had some Magic on the side in like small boxes or small spots and everything. So I began scooping those up, and today I'm gonna open up by covering these cards that I got. Um, I got lucky with a handful of cards for my commander decks. Uh, I was able to get at least 25 cards from a single box pile, which surprisingly enough had some very interesting cards, and I had to like really confirm with them that was $1 because I was like, this is too good to be true. That's being sold for $1. And there was a couple of cards that I was able to get that was around. One was $8, which was the most, and a couple of them were like $3 each. But nevertheless, I was able to get these singles, which was very shocking what they were, and I wanted to share those with you. Another thing that I got, was from this store called PPG. They had a kiosk, and as you can see here, they selected some magic cards themselves, 7 magic cards. They put them in this pack, and they call it a mystery pack, which comes with 1 foil, 1 rare, along with 5 random cards. So this opening segment, before we get into Shorikai, I'm gonna open up all 15 of these. They charged $10 for this pack of 15. So the big question is, what kind of cards did they decide to part with? Because I would be very, very shocked if they put in something as extremely rare as like a mythic rare or something. Say like a Sliver Queen. That would be very mind blowing. So I don't have a lot of high expectations because I really don't believe that a store like that would give away something of the equivalent of a Sliver Queen, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They probably had like maybe $2 or $3 rare cards in there. But being that this is being selected by the store itself rather than Wizards of the Coast, it's sort of like taking a gamble and being stuck with useless cards that might not do anything for my deck. But I'm gonna start with the singleton cards that I got individually from the dollar pile and from these other ones. I've already incorporated them into my decks. So it's a little so that some of them are in sleeves. The other 2 decks that I had just finished building the last week and yesterday, they're not sleeved yet. I gotta buy new sleeves. The sleeves that I got are very old. They're very, very, very durable, but the wear is now catching up with them. We're talking like since 1996. We're talking 1998 that I had these sleeves. So it's pretty crazy. Um, let's see here. There we go. So let us come into where is it? Where is that? Here we go. There we go. Here we go. The board of shame. The board of shame. Let's see here. So this one I got from the dollar pile for my it's intended for my Shorikai deck, as you can see here. Feel free to look at the checklist. I'll be walking through what they're gonna do. But I wanted to add this to my Shorikai deck. This is Daring Archaeologist. When Daring Archaeologist enters the battlefield, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever you cast a historic spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Daring Archaeologist. Historic spells are
thank you for the follow and welcome to the channel.
Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. So that's what they do. Thank you very much for the follow. This is the best alt account. welcome to the channel. How are you doing today? You made it just in time for the tabletop segment before heading into the next segment. You have a fun name. That is the best alt account. Live up to it. Live up to that. Live up to that. So, yeah, I'm going through these cards that I got at AnimeNYC over the weekend, and then I'm gonna do a deck tune-up of my Shorikai Genesis Engine Commander deck. So the first card that I'm looking at right now is the Daring Archaeologist, which I'm trying to find. You are indeed the best alt account. Awesome. So I'm trying to figure out a way with Shorikai, and I'll explain in more greater detail. But basically, Shorikai is naturally an artifact deck. So I'm looking for artificers. You are the best actual account. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. So yeah, I'm looking for artificers, and white artificers I've been having a hard time finding. Blue artificers I got like up the wazoo, along with multicolored artificers, but white artificers for some reason is very hard. That and pilots. So I'll go into more greater detail when I finish going through all this here. Next up I got is Precognition Field. Precognition Field, I thought this was a cool enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library and may cast the top card of your library if it's an instant or a sorcery, and for 3 mana you can exile the top card of your library. I scooped it up. Maybe I'll find something, but when I started looking through my decks that have blue, I realized I don't have a lot of instants and sorceries. I mean, I have instants and sorceries, but I don't feel I have enough to justify filling that card in. But I'll try and figure out a way to get it, especially since they do exile, and I know that there are cards out there where you can exile cards and then play them right out of exile immediately. I've been coming across a lot of cards that are doing that, so I'll have to figure that one out. This one I got from the $3 pile.
Oh, thank you for the follow and welcome to the channel.
Oh no. Thank you for the follow. This is the worst alt account. You are indeed the best of all the alt accounts, and the best alt account is indeed the worst of all the alt accounts. See what I did there? Thank you again for the follow and welcome to the channel. So this one here is the bestest worst account, and that is hardcore. So this one came from the $3 pile. This is called Eska's Chariot. It's a legendary artifact vehicle. It's green. When Eska's Chariot enters the battlefield, I create 2 green two green cat creature tokens, and whenever Eska's Chariot attacks, I create a token that's a copy of target token I control. Crew 4. So what happened here? The reason why I picked this one up is because my Sithis deck, which was my first deck that I ever built, going back to when it was Isamaru as the commander, it evolved exponentially. That now it's generating tokens naturally. Like it was a natural progression, and what happened is that now my deck is leaning towards all these counters and token characters and such. So I've been getting cards that exploit that, and I thought this would be good, but I don't know how I could fit it in because I found better cards. For the Sithis deck that can copy tokens and mass-produce tokens and so on. So I kind of have this as a backup in case I could find something better. But that card that I'm talking about that I found that was a little better for my Sithis deck, and I already incorporated into it. This is Magic the Gathering. A very classic trading card game. This is the first and the father of all trading card games. This is what started it all. This is why we have One Piece, the trading card game, Yu-Gi-Oh, the trading card game, Pokemon, the trading card game, and so on. Oh, it's all right. Trading card games. It's a fun thing. It's a fun genre of tabletop games. Well, it's good that you know that. But you know what? There's other people that don't know that. And they need to know. We must spread the gospel of magic. We must spread the gospel of magic. And it's on all of its glory. So my Sithis deck, which evolved into now piling on the counters, I was looking for Elish Norn to copy triggered abilities, but since I have Weaver of Harmony and I found 2 artifacts that can also do the same thing, I came across this one, which does the same thing that my own Dune Spirit Dancer does, which is create copy tokens of tokens, and this card is Romana 2. Is it the exact same like the rare Pokemon cards? Is it the exact same like the rare Pokemon cards? I need a little clarification on that. My Pokemon cards are extraordinarily old. I stopped at Neo Genesis. So I have no idea what's been going on in the Pokemon circuit. Magic, I just got back after a 13-year absence, so I've been playing catch up for the past couple of months now. Yeah, it's been a couple of months now. Whew. How you get the holographic thingies? Oh, this is not a holographic thingy. This is a deck protector. You put the cards in the sleeves like so, and you protect your cards from ever getting damaged and shuffling just like that. So that's why you're getting that little glowy thing. Magic is a playing game. It is a trading card game, and it's a trading card game with so many different formats, so many different ways to play the game. It's hard to keep up. Commander that I'm playing is one of those formats, and it's a very, very good format. Let's see here. Oh, it's got you in there. No wonder. Get out of there. So with Romana 2, adding it to my Sithis deck, she comes from the new Doctor Who set. I still have my reservations about using television and movie media, but I couldn't ignore this because not only does she have vigilance, but for 1 mana and tapping her to the side, I could create a tapped token that's a copy of the target token that entered the battlefield that turn. It's a little mouthful, but basically what it's saying is that whatever tokens I created on the field that turn, I could create another token. So if I created a +1/+1 counter token, I could get another +1/+1 counter token. If I created, let's say this 2/2 green cat creature token, she can create another one. And she has the Doctor's Companion ability, which is not entirely important for my deck. So can you tell me all about the board games you play? Because I'm interested. I play a lot of different tabletop games. Aside from trading card games, I do play board games. It's very, very, very hard for me lately playing tabletop games. But I got a variety of them, from Ticket to Ride to The more recent game I bought was Thunder Road. I have Everdale. Then I got smaller games like Arkham. Well, those party games like Arkham. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow, I really do have so much. My brain can't even keep up. I got games like Boss Monster, even video game adapted tabletop games like Super Hot and Centipede from the Atari 2600. Let's see, what else? Smaller games like Keyforge. Well, I mean, it's a big game, but I mean, like, in terms of content size, like Keyforge and Combo Fighter. Deck building games I got a good chunk of, like Star Realms, Hero Realms, Tanto Core, and the like. What I don't have is trick-taking games. I'm not very good with trick-taking tabletop games. I really stink at it, and I avoid that like the plague. Very, very, very bad. Yeah, and I got chess. Yeah, I have chess. And I play, and I had been playing chess since I was in the 5th grade. There you go, a little tidbit about me. That's how long I've been playing chess. But in terms of my proficiency level, I know all the rules, but strategy is not my forte. I'll be wiped out within mere seconds if I took on any chess player. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy chess for what it does. And of course, trading card games. I have like a whole lot of trading card games. But yeah, it's been a long time since I played trading card games. You can relate playing chess for a long time. Yeah, if you were to tell me D4 to D5, I wouldn't even know what you're talking about. To me, it's like I will move my pawn up 2 spots, and then I will move my horse up and to the left. mm, um. Oh, lol. Next up, I got from the dollar pile, which I completely forgotten that I already have, because I got it in the Commander Precon Philosopher Ramp Tour deck that was just released for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and that was Shifting Ceratops. I already have Shifting Ceratops, so I ended up getting a duplicate by accident. But maybe that might be helpful in the long run, because I did put aside the Enrage ability dinosaurs. So maybe having that second one could help if I decide to incorporate them as a support guide. This one I added to Shorikai deck, which I'll be covering later on the show, called Illustrious Wanderglyph. It has Ascend. No, I'm not aware of the FIDE rating system. I've never heard of that. Explain. Post it up on the chat. Check that out. It has Ascend. What Ascend does is if you have at least 10 permanents, and that includes tokens. If you have 10 permanents out on the battlefield, you get the city's blessing, and that will create and that will give you an additional effect, which is other artifact creatures you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the city's blessing, and that's the city's blessing is permanent for the whole game, from what I understand. Getting 10 permanents is very easy in this in Commander format if you do it right. But he also has the other ability in which at the beginning of each upkeep you create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature token, and that got me looking for my gnome artifacts like the bottle gnomes and such. This is the best all accounts said. It's the official ELO rating system for chess. It's determined by tournaments essentially. Ooh. Oh wow, so that's kind of like a Dragon Ball Z power level, huh? The chess master is over 9,000. Sorry for that meme. I'll take that arrow to the knee. No, I don't really know mine's. Mine is probably negative 9,000. I wouldn't even. I never even heard of the FIDE rating system, and I'll probably have to look that up and see how that works. But I'll probably end up with negative 9,000. I'll have to consider now going into maybe later down the line, pull out the clubhouse pull out clubhouse games on the Switch and play chess. Take on the computer and play some chess. Now that you bringing chess up, I'll have to see if I could put that in the queue and do that on the show. That'll be pretty cool. Beginner would be 400 to 800. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I should look into that. That's a very interesting thing. I would like to know what my rating is. Is it easy to sign up or is it free? Hmm. Ah, okay. This one I got from the dollar pile, and I added this to my Italy deck because it's Goblin centric and Viashino centric, and he's a classic character from the days of Weatherlight. That is Squee the Immortal. You may cast Squee the Immortal from your graveyard or from exile. He's a legendary creature, so he would make a good commander. But there's a lot of commanders out there that can give you effects and such. He just makes attacks a little bit more um, doable. This one here came from the dollar pile, and shockingly enough, I immediately added them into my decks. I added them immediately into my decks. Uh, it's a very, very, very classic card. I believe this was back in the days of Alpha, and the fact that this was in the dollar pile was shocking. And these were the only three in the dollar pile, so naturally I scooped them all up. Um, let's see. This is the best all accounts said. Well, for a FIDE rating, you gotta participate tournaments in real life. But there's a huge chess site simply known as chess.com, which has a rating system very similar. Still the ELO rating system, and it's accurate too. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll definitely chess.com. I'll have to look that up. Do some research into that. If I can put that in the queue and do a show, I would like to do that. I've been very, very curious exactly how good I am with chess. It's been a long time since I played chess against human people, but yeah, man, thank you for letting me know that. In fact, where's my notes at? Let me just make sure I mark that down. Although I could always just replay the replay the video, but let me just mark this down. Fight and chess.com. Chess.com. Here we go. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So, back on topic. These three copies I got, and I put them into three different decks. They're a classic one, and they only costed $1, and that's Never Neurial's disc. I was very shocked to see these in the dollar pile, and I didn't hesitate to scoop them up. What they do is that the disc enters the battlefield tapped, and when you tap for 1 mana and tap the card, you destroy all artifacts, creatures, enchantments. A great creature wipe, a great board wipe card for a deck. And yeah, they had three, and they were the only three. So naturally, I snatched it and got them into my deck almost immediately. This one is for my Italy deck, another Viashino. I believe I got this in the dollar pile. Yeah, I got this in the dollar pile. This is the Immolation Shaman. Viashino Shaman. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact, creature, or land that isn't a mana ability, Immolation Shaman deals 1 damage to that player. 5 mana, 3 generic, 2 red. Shaman gets +3/+3 and menace until end of turn. Very effective Viashino, and it's only a 2 cost card, which is what's crazy about it. It's only two mana. let's see, how the elo system works is that you have to beat opponents starting at the very bottom, assuming that what level you pick, new, beginner, etc. But when you beat someone, your elo keeps going up and goes down when losing. The stronger opponents you get, the more and less elo you gain or lose. It's a very prestigious rating system, to sum it up. Wow, that sounds like yeah, that's total Street Fighter. Yeah, that reminds me of Street Fighter 6. When you win, you get yeah, you move up the ranks, but if you lose, you start dropping down and losing ranks. Not no different than that. That's cool. Gonna have to check that out. See about doing a show on that. It'll be interesting doing a chess show for this channel. You know, got a good variety. And let's see. This one's from my Silvos deck, which I don't think I covered it at all. Have I covered Silvos on the channel? No, I haven't covered Silvos. So yeah, you're gonna see this when I cover Silvos in the future. My Silvos deck, and this is Terra Stomper. It can't be countered when it comes when it gets cast. It has trample, and it's an 8/8 for 6 mana, which is pretty good. 3 green, 3 generic, pretty good for an 8/8 trampler that can't be countered. It's pretty cool. And this one I also added to Silvos, which also this one was not in the dollar pile. This one was the $3 pile. This is the Canopy Tactician, 4 mana. It's a 3/3 creature, and it gives all elves I control +1/+1. And when I tap it, I get 3 mana, which is great because this goes good with the Imperious Perfect. Again, I'll show in a future episode with Silvos. This one here, this one was the card that I've been waiting for. Now, you probably might notice, those of you who've been watching my show, watching my deck tune-ups for Commander, Lady Yuriko was listed up above, and you notice that she's been replaced with Saru Umezawa, and that's because I got Saru Umezawa in the dollar pile. Like I said, I had to really ask to make sure that this was legit, but I got Saru Umezawa. He's got the same ability as she does. Whenever you activate a Ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. It only triggers once, but what else it does is this: each creature card in your hand has Ninjutsu for 2 mana, 2 generic mana, 1 blue, 1 black, 4 mana cost. This was the card that I was looking for my ninja deck. Lady Yuriko was going to be a substitute, but this was the one that I really wanted because I wanted to make all the creatures I have gain Ninjutsu when I play off the hand. So I built the deck yesterday. So there will be a show later down the line. This is the best all accounts said. With FIDE, you can get real chess titles, and online too. They sync. My goal is to get the first chess title, CM Candidate Master, ELO of 2200 minimum, no norms required. Ooh, a prestigious title, huh? That sounds cool. Good luck. I hope you get it. I'm rooting for you. I root for everybody. I want everybody to succeed. I got that Monkey D. Luffy thing going here. Everybody will succeed. Man, I wish you all the best on getting your first chess title. That's good. That sounds really cool, man. That's gonna be real cool. And then if we were able to face each other, you'll just wipe the floor off of me. You'll just make one move, and then I'll have to tilt. Your first move will be moving the pawn up, and I'll have to tilt the king immediately. That's the difference of level we both have. And you won't move, and you won't do the 2 square jump with the pawn. You just move it 1 square, and I'm like, tilt the king. The worst opening move ever. There is no such thing as the worst opening move ever in chess. Every move is a positive move. That's what makes chess legendary. No move in chess is a negative move. It's always a positive move. Mm, let's see. This one is another enchantment that I got. I incorporated this into the ninja deck. This is Future Sight. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play the top card of your library, which is very, very potent. This is a free play, and it's any card, which makes it very, very dangerous. I thought about putting it into Shorikai, but I thought that putting in Ninja is better because of the theme. You know, the surprise. Well, Bond Cloud is an exception. Don't look it up. I don't think I want to look that up. Jalum Tome. A quick and easy draw a card. It's only 2 mana. Draw a card and discard a card. It's not bad. Actually, anything that could get you a card draw is good. And discarding 1 card, which is any card, is good. That's the good part about it, is that it could be any card. So if I don't need it, or if I can be able to turn it into a net positive, that will happen. Okay, it's basically an actual negative move. Now this one I added to my dinosaur deck. Another one that I'm going to cover down the line. That's Pat Laza's Sun Favored. This is Collective Blessing. Creatures you control get +3/+3. Very straightforward. Very powerful enchantment. Six converted mana cost. That's all it takes, but not bad. I thought about putting it into my sliver deck, but I had better. But because I have slivers that can produce +1/+1s and so on, I didn't see the need to have this enchantment. This was I felt it was more better served for the Pantlaza deck. Another one that I got here is called Cabaretti Ascendancy. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it in the library, bottom of your library. So it's basically a scry. It's a scry-like ability. It's not bad. Only unlike scry, this actually goes into it goes right into the hand as opposed to going back to the top of the deck. The Japanese Vocab Point Award. That is a channel point award in which I will showcase one Japanese word for those who are learning Japanese or interested in learning a Japanese word. Which I got my book right over here. If interested, if you're interested to redeem it. And I'll be happy to share with everybody the Japanese word of the day. And this next one here, this one is also going into, and we got a redemption. Japanese vocabulary. Sorry, everybody. We're going to have to do this real quickly. We interrupt this program for today's Japanese vocabulary of the day. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see here. Perfect. Here we go. From the Super Real Japanese book. Super Real Japanese book. Today's word is amai. Amai. Let's type that up. A-M-A-I. Amai. Here we go. Amai. Sweet. Today is amai. Sweet. There we go. Amai. Sweet. チョコレートが甘いですよ。おいしい。Thank you. Thank you for the redemption. This is the best alt account. You have learned a new word today. you got over here? What you got going over here? Huh. Hmm. Oh, I see what you were trying to do. You were trying to do this, huh? IEAO. Huh. That's an interesting word that you got up there. IEAMAYO. It's not popping up in G-Show. All right. This one again is for the Pantlaza deck. Always watching 9 creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Very good for 3 mana. Oh, you were trying to. Oh, I got you. He was just trying to spell the word I was saying. My. You you were trying to write the whole my whole sentence there. So yeah, always watching is very straightforward. It's just +1/+1 vigilance for 3 converted mana. Really good for the Dino deck. Rally the Ranks is the next one I got. What it does is when it enters the battlefield, I choose a creature type, and the creatures that I control the chosen type is +1/+1, which is great for the dinosaurs because they're the only ones that I'll be messing around with in that deck. Another one that I added to the Dino deck is Elven Chorus. This one is an enchantment. I got a glossy one, a little shiny one here. But you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana to your of your color. I thought about putting it into Silvos, but I think being that it's any color, this would fit for the Dino deck because it's tricolored. Oh yes, I only need 12 more, and I'm nearing the final stretch. You helped very much. This is the best alt count. Thank you very much for bringing me even closer to the big 100. Not sure what's going to happen when I hit 100, but I'm hoping that that'll double up to 200 after I hit 100 in 24 hours, which will never happen because nobody knows I exist. I do exist, people, please. This one, this is a new dinosaur I found from the dollar pile. This is Verdant Sun's avatar. Whenever the avatar or another creature enters the battlefield under my control, I gain life equal to that creature's toughness. This will be very, very helpful, especially since the dinosaurs are big and beefy. So that'll help me out, especially if it goes the deck runs slow. 2 followers today, thanks to the best and worst sides. Most definitely, the yin and the yang has converged. And now we're coming up to these cards here for the first sliver deck, which I covered last week. I covered the first sliver deck last week, and I found these cards. A couple of them were in the dollar pile, but one of them was in the $8 pile, and it was really worth the investment. So let's first open up. Now, the quick tune-up that I did was that I cut down on the number of vehicles in the sliver deck. I brought it down to 2, and I picked the 2 that I liked the best because they were the most effective. And that left me room for another set of artifacts that I wanted to use so much, but I couldn't fit them in any of the decks, and I got them to fit in this particular deck, the first sliver. And I'll cover that update in a later date. But for now, give you the preview because these are new cards that I added in there. The first one is Stoneforge Masterwork Equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. It's cost 2 on the equipment. So basically, this is a coat of arms, but for you only, which is great. Put that on a sliver, and that sliver will get everything for all other slivers. It's like a sliver card. Next one is Sword of Vengeance, another equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has First Strike, Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Equipped 3. If I get that one good creature there, maybe, a sliver or something. Aw, thank you. Oh, you do have a minimal idea of magic? That's awesome. Aw. Thank you. And this one I added in the first sliver because the first sliver has the ability of Cascade, and this one gives me the ability of Cascade, and that's Maelstrom Nexus. The first spell I cast each turn has Cascade. Simple enough. That's it. For those of you who might not know what Cascade is, you see here these 5 mana up here on the top right corner. A card that has Cascade that I play on there, I get to search for any card with mana less than this, and I could play that for free. Without paying the mana cost. And then the cards that I was forced to quote unquote exile, but they're not really exiled, they go to the bottom of the deck. So you don't really lose cards. You're just cycling through them in a different way. If you was a Magic the Gathering enjoyer, I can't imagine how good this stream would be. Oh, every fan of Magic the Gathering, every fan of Magic the Gathering on this stream would make this stream more awesome. But you know what else is making it more awesome? Tabletop game players like you, because you bring in the variety of tabletop games for this channel. Let's see here. Now this one for the first sliver deck was in the dollar pile. This was a good score, and I most definitely threw that in there. Why, I don't know. Oh yeah, because I do have artifact creatures. This is good for my artifact creatures because they're not slivers, and that's Hivestone. Creatures you control are slivers in addition to their other creature types. So all those artifact creatures that I have that are not slivers will now become slivers, and they will get the benefits of slivers with the Hivestone. I thought that was perfect, especially the heavy hitters among the constructs. And it also gives me now options of throwing in constructs, bigger, beefier creatures like say, let's say the walking skyscraper, or the Colossus, one of the Colossuses. Slivery slivers. Slivers are awesome. They're very, very, very awesome indeed. And bringing the Hivestone is actually a big deal because I do have artifact creatures that are not sliver like a snake. Yeah. Yeah, the only sliver that I have that's an artifact is the metallic sliver, and there's 2 others, but they're very hard to get. But being able to turn all those artifacts into slivers with the Hivestone, and they get all the bonuses of the slivers, is pretty cool. And this last one is the $8 card. This is the one that I was saving for last. This is a pretty big deal for the sliver deck, because this one is a kill card. I will probably win this game a lot if I ever get this out. The Sliver Hive Lord. Sliver creatures you control have indestructible. Damage and effects that say destroy, don't destroy them. I'm still focusing on the first sliver as the commander, even though I have the option of the Hive Lord, but having the Hive Lord is definitely a big blow against my opponents. Do I collect plushies and keychains? No, I do not. Although I do coincidentally get plushies and keychains, but I do not collect them as a hobby. I do not collect them as a hobby, but I coincidentally do get keychains, plushies. Let's see. No, no, unfortunately. It'll have to be something significantly special, like say Koopa Troopa, to make me scoop up a plushie, but I would never scoop up a plushie. Keychains is just coincidental. You know, they're incidental and coincidental. An oxymoron, if I guess. No, not really. I'm bad. That was bad grammar. So this was the singleton cards that I got from the $1 and $8 pile. And they're in figures is a must. Yes. I'm very selective when it comes to figures. My most recent one is Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I forgot the name of the company. And I also got the Super Mario Brothers movie figurines for my background, for this background here. The ones that I do collect, not a lot, but I do, but I don't hesitate to jump on them. Happens to be the Remnant brand figurines. I've been using them for my backgrounds for certain things. You'll see. I tend to use them for my backgrounds for my show. Like this one here of Tamio and Guy. I don't remember his name. For when I cover Magic the Gathering. No, he's I can't really bring him down. It's pretty big, but it's I forgot the name of the brand that Bandai Namco that teamed up with, but it's definitely not a chibi figurine. No, it's not a chibi. It's not a chibi, but he's a posable figure, and I'm keeping him in the box. NRFB, NRFB. Okay, so those are my singletons that I incorporated into my commander decks. So I will be returning to some of the ones that I've done and covering. I was gonna say Netoroid. Oh, no, none of those Netoroids. Although, oof, yeah. Oh wow, yeah. Good Smile Company still makes me mad. Because at AnimeNYC, I went on Sunday and they ran out of all the good prizes and all they had left was keychains, and then ended up walking away with 10 of the Good Smile keychains, which are Netoroids, which those Netoroid keychains, and seeing the price of those keychains was mind blowing. $15 for each. For me, in my case, it was definitely a steal because getting 10 of those for $20 was $2 a keychain, but seeing the actual price being $15, I thought that was ridiculous. So, PPG kiosk at AnimeNYC, as I said, they created these mystery packs, 7 of these for Magic the Gathering, one foil, one rare. Guaranteed, along with 5 random cards. Now, this is their take on the whole thing, so I don't know what they chose to part with, but I'm not expecting. I don't have the high expectations of some super ultra awesome card like, say, Sliver Queen. If Sliver Queen ended up in here, my brain will be exploded, or anything of that level and caliber. But now's the time to start cracking these open, and then we're going to get into Shorikai Genesis Engine deck. For the Tuneup, because I'm still trying to figure out what to do. This is my favorite on and almost everything indie. Do you like indies? Yeah. Well, in terms of to an extent, some indies are good. Some of them are not so good. But it's not something I would go into indie animation. Indie games, yeah. Indie games most definitely. Indie games are can be very, very creative and fun, but and I've covered. I actually covered indie video game called Alien Life Simulator. The game creator is a swell guy. He's really cool. And his channel right now, he's currently over on his Twitch channel. He's doing an indie event where he's creating quick indie video games for within a time frame. This one he's working on involves superheroes crashing into buildings. Justin Six, Glitch Productions. Glitch Productions. Are they the ones that did oh, what's that? Murder Bots, Murder Drones. Because I really enjoyed watching Murder Drones. That was a pretty cool concept. Yes, there we go. I knew it. Because I really enjoyed Murder Drones. I really hope that they get picked up or something. It's definitely a good storyline. All right, let's check out our first mystery pack. Let's see what this mystery pack is. Underrated? It should not be underrated. It should be properly rated as awesome. All right. First off, interesting. This is one of the rares. This is foil. Basri's Acolyte, a cat cleric. It's got lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures you control. Ooh, my Sithis deck may love this card. Because it's got lifelink and it could put maybe not, because Basari's Acolyte is doing it on her own. Well, anyway. Then I have here Moderation. Ooh, a white-blue one. You can't cast more than one spell each turn, but whenever you cast a spell, draw a card. It's a bit of a drawback for Shorikai. Well, this sucks. They included a token artifact creature. Let's see. Lembas. Lembas from The Lord of the Rings. When Lembas enters the battlefield, scry 1, draw a card. 2 mana, tap. Sacrifice Lembas, you gain 3 life. When Lembas is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, its owner shuffles it into their library. Oh, so it cycles back into the library. Interesting. That's very interesting. Satyr Rambler, just a straightforward trampler. 2/1 trampler for 2 mana. Reminds me of the elf, the 1/1 elf. It took ages for me to find out about it, and I'm big on indie. Sweet, man. Yeah, indies can be very, very, very good with the right type of skill and everything. And Murder Drones is one of those. I do highly recommend Murder Drones, which is on YouTube. Renowned Weaver, 2 and sacrifice the Weaver. Put a 1/3 green spider enchantment creature token with reach onto the battlefield. That's interesting. It gives me an enchantment creature, but I don't know if it's really worth all that trouble for sacrificing the Renowned Weaver. Now this is the first time I have this type of card. It looks like a book on here. Ardenvale Tactician, Human Knight. It seems to have 2 mana, instant adventure. Tap up to 2 creatures. It's got flying. I don't know how this works, so I'll have to talk to my commander group about that on Saturday. And the only reason I ever found out about it is because of the huge TADC. So yeah, it's underrated and it deserves so much. What is TADC? Is that some kind of food? Is that one of those whisper type of shows that I see on YouTube, where they like to make crinkly noises on the microphone? All right, let's see what we got here. Next pack. Witness Protection. Oh, that's hilarious. Enchantment aura. Enchant creature. Creature loses all abilities and is green-white citizen creature with base power and toughness 1/1 named Legitimate Business Person. Oh, wow. It loses all other colors, card types, creature types, and names. That's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Oh, The Amazing Digital Circus. Oh, yeah. I actually saw the first episode. Very interesting. Very weird, but I think it has potential. Seeing how crazy what's her name got and started going all Akira on everybody. I completely forgot everybody's names because I only saw it once. But yeah, it has potential, but I think it needs a little bit more refinement. I saw a person cosplay as the main character at AnimeNYC. Very well done. Inspired Charge. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. That's an instant. Pony Jackson Kane. There we go. Thank you. Chatter of the Squirrel. I already have Chatter of the Squirrel. It's a very old school card. Lets you put a 1/1 green squirrel creature token into play with a flashback of 2, so you can play it off the graveyard. Lightning Bolt, another classic card that I already have back in the old days. Deals 3 damage to any target player. I see that they put token creatures, token cards in these packs. That really stinks. It has infinite potential. It's the fastest growing indie animation of all time. Excellent, excellent. I would definitely want to check out another episode and see what they do. You know, it would have been nice if they noted that they included a token card. I wish they would have included that they included a token card. I think that's it. 130 million in a month's time. Oh my gosh. Why is it not picked up? That should be on television right now. If you could generate that many views. Ravenous Gigamole. When Ravenous Gigamole enters the battlefield, all mill 3 cards. You may put a creature card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on Gigamole. That's pretty crazy. Very gruesome looking creature. That's the foil card. And then I got Chef's Kiss, red. Gain control of target spell that creature that targets only a single permanent player. Copy it, then reselect the targets at random for the spell. And the copy, the new targets can't be you or a permanent you control. I don't know. I don't know about that. 1 month. So. All right, thank you very much for the follows. This is the best alt account. You are most definitely the best alt account. I look forward to seeing you on the next shows, and you have yourself a good night. See you later. All right, another pack opened. What do I got here? This is Tainted Strike, instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains infect until end of turn. Infect is the new poison, from what I understand. They replaced the whole poison. Gives poison counters. Otherworldly Gaze. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest on top of your library in any order. This is a terrible card. I don't care if it's got flashback. That's a terrible card. I don't see the potential in that.
Oh, thank you for the follow and welcome to the channel.
Well, thank you for the follow, Olarini Me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for the compliment there. Welcome to the channel. Please enjoy. Please enjoy. Let's see here. The next covering MagictheGathering. For those of you joining in, I just got these mystery pack cards from this kiosk called PPG at AnimeNYC convention over the weekend, and we're checking out what these cards are. And I really don't like the fact that they include token cards in these little packs of theirs. Especially, I mean, I don't know how much they cost individually. I got these 15 packs for $10, but you know, so that's a lot of cards, all things considered. But you know, that's 105 cards, but still, you know, I mean, you know. End the Festivities deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. That's actually pretty. That's actually pretty good for 1 mana. I might consider that for my Eat Elite deck. To be able to dish out right off across the board. It might even be good for enraged decks. Almost dropped this. Silverbeak Griffin, straightforward flyer, 2/2. Not bad. Tin Street Market. Enchantment, or you enchant a land. Enchant land has discard a card, tap. Tap, discard a card, draw a card. Okay, this is actually pretty good. This is pretty good. I can either put that in my Pantlaza deck or my Italy deck. I'll have to see. But anytime you could draw a card with red, you wanna take advantage of that, and that's not bad, especially since it enchants the land. Next up. Next up here, I got Garenbrig Carver. Shield's Might. Instant adventure. Target creature gets +2/+2. It's a 3/2 creature. It's not one of those weird book-looking things. It's very weird. This one is Dimensional Infiltrator. Creature Eldrazi. I've heard of these, so this is my first encounter with an Eldrazi card. 2 mana. Interesting. Oh, I see. The artwork is overlaid, underlaid. The Void. This card has no color. Interesting, even though it takes blue. Got it. Flash Flying. 1 mana and 1 colorless mana. So I have to have a colorless mana to do this. That's weird. Target opponent exiles the top card of his or her library. If it's a land card, you may return Dimensional Infiltrate to its owner's hand. All right. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let's let me just do this real quickly. Wow. I don't know if it's picking up, but we have a really crazy storm going on outside. Crazy rainstorm, and I can hear the howling wind. I wish it was Halloween. Really add the nice effect to it. Let's see here. All right. There we go. Is the next pack? Here we go. I want to save the rares for last here. This one's a little worn out. Gem Hide Sliver. I already have one of those. It's in the first Sliver deck, which lets Slivers add 1 mana of any color to the mana pool. Next up, Brown Oofy. Oh, this is definitely an old one. This is from the... What's this here? It's one of the snow... what was it? The Homelands? No, it's not the Homelands. Dang. Ice Age. There we go. This is from Ice Age. Now, this is very, very... well, it's not rare, but given that it's Ice Age card, that's rare. Target counter target artifact ability requiring an activation cost. Play this ability as an interrupt. The Brown Oofy. The Brown Oofy. Next up is Hedron Crawler. I got these Hedron cards all the time. Archive and so on. It's an artifact creature. Add colorless mana to your mana pool. It's interesting that they have a colorless symbol as opposed to the number. But no, I could be able to do something with the Eldrazi. Next up is Moonglove Changeling. It's a shapeshifter. Has the Changeling effect. This card is every creature type at all times. Fascinating. So this could be a Sliver creature. If I wanted to, put it in the Sliver deck. Moonglove Changeling gains Death Touch until end of turn. No, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. If I put that in my Sliver deck, it gets Sliver abilities. This one is Preordain. Scry 2, then draw a card. So that's interesting. That's actually pretty... This is pretty good. Actually, I might consider adding that in. It's so flexible. What are the rare cards I got here? Green Wheel Liberator. Revolt. Green Wheel Liberator enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it. If a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. Okay. That's interesting. It's an elf. It's another one of them elves. Brink of Disaster. Enchantment Aura. Enchant creature or land. Enchanted creature permanent becomes tapped. Destroy it when it becomes tapped. All right. I don't know. There's some cards with potential, but not all of them are. But at least I didn't get a token creature this time, so alright. It's very random. I thought that every single one of these packs, because I've been coming across token cards too much. So, okay. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. So, you got it. PPG. Scaled Nurturer, a Dragon Druid. This is a Dragon type. Oh, I see. He's one of the Dragonkin. Got it. Add green, and when you spend this mana to cast a dragon creature spell, you gain 2 life. Now this is actually pretty cool because you still get the green, and if you use it on a dragon creature, you gain 2 life. So it's not mandatory that you use it on green. There's some cards out there where they say when you tap it, you can only use it to cast like an artifact spell or a dinosaur spell. But here it's not telling you that. It's telling you that if you use it to cast a dragon, you get the bonus. That's actually pretty good mana dork. I'll have to consider that if I ever do a dragon deck. Alright, next up is Reckless Impulse. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. So, okay, this is one of those. Okay, this is a card that and this is a play card. So that means I don't have to pay mana for it, if I'm reading this correctly. This is the type of card I'm looking for in my Italy deck. And it doesn't say that it gets exiled, so I'm assuming that once I finish playing them off the exile, they go to the deck, go to the graveyard, which makes it even more deadlier. Makes this a much more deadlier card imaginable. Willow Wind, Elemental, Flying. When Willow Wind enters the battlefield, scry 2. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. The Torment of Golem. Oh, it's a Lord of the Rings card here. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an on-land card from it. That player discards that card. Amass Orcs 2. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on an army you control. It's also an orc. If you don't control an army, create a 0/0 black orc army creature token first. Oh, that's not bad. So if you don't have an army, you can actually create an army to be able to put the token. So it doesn't die out. That's pretty cool. Mountain. Oh, yeah. Got a basic land here. Mountain. What's my rares here? Karth the Lion, legendary creature, green black. Whenever Karth the Lion enters the battlefield or a planeswalker you control dies, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal a planeswalker card from among them and put it into your hand. The rest goes to the bottom of the library. Planeswalker's loyalty abilities you activate cost an additional +1 to activate. So if I were to build a Planeswalker deck exclusively, this would make a good. Well, I wouldn't say it would make a good commander. Oh well, I don't know. It wouldn't be a good commander. Because constricted to black and green. I would want to rainbow it. Oh, a sliver. Ooh, I got a sliver card. Oh, the first sliver is going to be happy. This is Spectral Sliver. All sliver creatures have tap 2. This creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Oh my gosh. This is not only this is actually awesome because if you see, it's only paying for 2 generic mana, and I could tap for as much 2 generic mana as I want and pump up the +1/+1 counters. So I can actually turn one of my more potent slivers into a +1. Wow, that's a great card. That's going into the first sliver. All right, next pack. This is gonna be a long night. All right, first up, Dimensional Infiltrator. Oh, I got another one of these. The Dimensional Infiltrator, the Eldrazi. This one is Rootborn Defenses, an instant. Populate. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. To populate, create a token that's a copy of a creature token you control. Interesting. Those are the rares, weren't it? Yeah, those were the rares. I'll try to not do the rares first. Shark. I got another token. Flying shark. Lash of the Balrog, another Lord of the Rings card. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature or pay 4. Destroy target creature. I like the artwork on this, and it's only 1 black. Cast this card. Sacrifice a creature or pay 4. Destroy target creature. Interesting. Interesting. If I have a creature that I can afford to lose, I could do that. Lorien Revealed. Ooh, this is a gruesome card. Lorien Revealed. Draw 3 cards. Island Cycling. Wow, they brought back the cycling, huh? Discard this card. Search a library for an island card. Interesting. Interesting. Soldier of the Grey Host. Spirit Soldier. Flying. When Soldier of the Grey Host enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Shower of Arrows. Shower of Arrows is an instant destroy target artifact, enchantment, or a creature with flying. Scry 1. So this is a good card hit. Card destruction. And to scry 1, that's actually pretty good for 3 cost. All right, time for the next pack. Time for the next pack here. Okay. Flip this over. Here we go. Shire Terrace, another Lord of the Rings card here. I get to add 1 generic mana. Sacrifice the Shire on 1 mana and a tap. Search your library for a basic land card, put onto the battlefield, tapped and shuffle. So that's a good fetch land there. All right. This one is an instant improvised club. Is that a goblin it's using? As an additional cost to the cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Club deals 4 damage to any target. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, but Kodama's Reach. Actually, this is good. This is good because I don't have a lot of Kodama's Reach. I only have 2 of these, so I could definitely get this into one of my decks. I think my dinosaur deck needs it. I think. Either way, it's good. Grasping Scoundrel, Human Pirate, gets +1/+0 as long as it's attacking. Okay, so we got a pirate card. Only costs 1, huh? Okay. What's this token card here? A construct. Alright. We got a token card, construct. Crater Elemental. Crater Elemental. 1 red, tap. And sacrifice the elemental. Elemental deals 4 damage to target creature. Formidable, tap 3. Crater Elemental has base power 8 until end of turn. Activate this ability only if creature you control have total power 8 or greater. Seems a little too complicated. Might not be a good thing. May not be a good thing. Hunt the Weak, a sorcery. Wow, this is actually pretty good. Drawing here. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature fights target creature you don't control. So it's one of those fight style keywords, where the creatures can fight creatures directly, as opposed to attacking your opponent. And I don't think they tap either when you fight, which is pretty good. Alright. Next up. Haunted for Fengraf. Add 1 to your mana pool. 3 tap. Sacrifice and return a creature card at random from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, that's a cool recovery card. That's pretty cool. And you get to tap for mana, so that's a plus. It only costs 3 generic mana. Pretty good, pretty good. Charcoal Diamond. Oh, cool. I got tons of these from the old days of Magic, but I got this fresh looking card here. I might replace that in my Sliver deck because I'm using the old version, the old art, and I want to be a little consistent with the diamond cards that I put in the first Sliver deck. So that's cool. Yeah. Next up, Japanese. Ooh. Let's see here. Hold on. Saiden no. You see here. Well, the furigana is very small here. Saiden no Kikuriaku. There we go. Kikuriaku. Saiden no Kikuriaku. Yeah, there's no footy gun on here. I'll have to translate it. But it's an instant card. Instanto. あなたがコントロール、あなたがコントロール、している。Yeah, I'll have to translate this, but that's interesting. I got a Japanese one out of this. Never seen a Japanese language magic card before. That's pretty cool. Grasping Thrall. I got a Thrall here. When flying, when Grasping Thrall enters the battlefield, deals 2 damage to each opponent, and I gain 2 life. Okay. Another token creature, Elemental. Token card. Rona, Children's Faithful. Legendary creature. It's blue and black. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life. You may cast Rona, Children's Faithful from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying its other cost. I don't know about that, but maybe my ninja deck might benefit from it. Maybe. I don't know. It might not be worth it. But the fact that all opponents will lose a life, I don't know. I'll have to see. Chef's Kiss. I got another one of these. Chef Kiss. Gain control of target spell that targets only a single controller. I don't know. That seems a little too complicated. I don't know if I want to fit into my Italy deck. Okay, next pack. Slip on the Ring. Instant. The 1 ring. Exile target creature you own, then return to the battlefield under your control. The ring tempts you. I don't have those thematics, so it's probably not going to help me out. Keswick Flame Breather. Human Shaman. Whenever you cast non-creature spell, Keswick Flame Breather deals 1 damage to each opponent. Otherworldly Gaze. I already got this one, but since I have 2 blue, it's for yeah, no, that's not a good card, right? Why would I want to discard and then put the rest in the bottom? Troll of Khazad-dûm. Oh, this is the one in that scene in the Lord of the Rings. Troll of Khazad-dûm can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Swamp Cycling. 6/5. Oh, how crazy would that be if I give it ninjutsu? Just give it ninjutsu. Yep, and it's got super menace. The Tin Street Market. I already got this one, but since I'm running 2 red, this will be great because again, draw a card is good. I got another Dimensional Infiltrator. Man, they really wanted to get rid of these Eldrazi cards. Zuran Orb. Sacrifice a land, you gain 2 life. Free. It's a free drop. Zuran Orb. Sacrifice a land, you gain 2 life. Interesting. That's why it's free. You're giving up a lot. Alright, next pack. I'm going to try and... I'm trying to take my time here, but... I got to speed it up at some point. Revitalize. Oh, this is a classic one. This is an update, huh? You gain 3 life, draw a card. Bumbling Baloth, a beast. Ooh. Alright. For 74 syllables. Just a regular old beast card. I'll have to consider that. Breaking the Fellowship. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to another target creature that player controls. The ring tempts you. Inherited Envelope, another Lord of the Rings card. Enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you, add 1 mana of any color. I gotta find out what that means with the ring tempts you. But it's a Rainbow Rock. 1 mana of any color. I may want that in the first sliver deck. Because I'm trying to find these Rainbow Rocks where I can tap for any color. They're very helpful. Got a Dinosaur Token. Okay, 3/3 Dinosaur Token card. Battle Rattle Shaman. Hey, we got a goblin here. Maybe for the good old goblin deck. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target creature get +2/+0 until end of turn. Yeah, I'm probably gonna add that to to my Italy deck. Call the Skybreaker, red and blue. Create a 5/5 blue and red elemental creature token with flying. Retrace. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a land card in addition to its other costs. I don't know if it's really worth the trouble. I don't have a lot of I don't have blue and red combination to work with. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. There's 7 cards here. They just they didn't do like the other ones. This one was a slip up, clearly. We got an Ooze. Eve, Progenitor, Ooze. It's a legendary. Ooze, Storm. When you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. Copies become tokens. Oh, I've heard about this Storm. This is the one that Mark Roseworth said will never see the light of day because it's a broken mechanic. Eve, Progenitor, Ooze isn't legendary if it's a token. Eve enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other ooze you control. Now, I do have some oozes. Maybe I might consider doing an ooze deck and throw that in there. Okay. Cliffside Lookout. Core Scout Ally. Ooh, cores. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn on 5 mana cost. Survivor's Encampment. I already have this card, and it's already in one of my rainbow decks. I might consider putting that in my Dino deck. Oh, another card in Japanese here. Shock. It's a shock card. This is Shoku. Shock. Instanto. Dross Forge Bridge. Enters the battlefield tap indestructible. Oh, interesting. It's indestructible and it taps for black and red. It might be very helpful for the first sliver. Having an indestructible land is a good thing. What's my token here? Angel of Sanctions. Interesting. It's got a whole lot of text on here. When it enters the battlefield, may exile non-land permanent and opponent controlled until Angel of Sanctions leaves the battlefield. 3/4. Not sure how to get that card out. So this is the only rare I got? Huh. Well, that's disappointing. Or is it the land that's the rare? Well, this one was disappointing. This pack here. Novice Occultist. When Novice Occultist dies, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Here we go. So that's the foil I got. So I guess it's trying to say that the token is it. I don't know. It's getting a little weird here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. So that's the rare. Progenitor Ooze is the rare. This is a weird way that they package these ones here. So I got another Progenitor Ooze. Pegasus Guardian. Rescue the past. Rescue the full. Instant adventure. I don't know how that mechanic works. Exile target creature you control at return. That card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Flying at the beginning of your upkeep. If a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, create a 1/1 white Pegasus creature token with flying. This really stinks. They shouldn't have added this in here. These basic lands. Quite honestly, I think that's not good. Charging Badger, straight Trampler. It's like the elf that I got. That 1/1 elf. Cancel counter target spell. Okay, I got so many counter spells. It's crazy. Bushmeat Poacher, Human Soldier. Sacrifice another creature. You gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Draw a card. It's not that, actually, for 1. Oh, a dinosaur. We got ourselves a dinosaur from my dinosaur deck here. Cloud Piercer, dinosaur. It has mutate. If you cast this spell for its mutate cause. Yeah, the mutate is still difficult to understand here. But it has reach, and whenever this creature mutates, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Not much, but the 5/4 reach is pretty good. Getting 5/4 for reach is pretty good. So another dino to add to the Pamplaza deck. All right. This one is in Spanish. Mago de Baratijas. Mago de Baratijas. The creature. Okay. That's cute. Keswick Flame Breather. I got another one of these. Next is Primal Boost. Instant. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Cycling. I could discard this card to draw a card. When you cycle Boost, you may have target creature get +1/+1 until end of turn. That's interesting. That's a very interesting thing. You get a bonus for cycling. Silver Break Griffin. Got another one of these. Another one of these griffins. Soldier Token. That's fine. Are you serious? Wow. Then what was the rare one? Are you serious? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're trying to count Mago de Baratijas as the rare card because my foil is another land, and my rare is another dimensional infiltrator. This pack stinks. Wow, this pack stinks. Other than the dinosaur, the fact that why, they were doing good with the rares and they decided and the foils and decided to do foil land. That's very obnoxious. Don't do that. All you stores out there, if you're gonna do mystery packs, don't do foil lands. That's a ripoff. Another Silver Break Griffin. Reckless Impulse. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Didn't I get this one? Well, this is actually a pretty good card. Like I said, I might be able to use something like that for Italy. Otherworldly Gaze. I already have this one. This card. 2 of those. Now that's number 3. Urkhai Berserker. This is different. Urkhai Berserker enters the battlefield. The ring tempts you. Alright. Token, and they did it again. This is the second one that they did this. Another force and dimensional infiltrator. And another token, Spirit 1/1. Why? Again, why is the foil choice a land? People are paying money for this. I don't even know how much they're charging for the individual packs. The fact that I got 15 of these for $10 is what's keeping me from screaming bloody murder here. But I'm getting too many dimensional infiltrators, and there's no reason I should be getting foil lands. That's not what people are looking for when you say you're giving up foil cards. All right, what are we closing out with? Better be something really cool. A sliver. Ooh, we got ourselves a sliver, predatory sliver. It's another muscle sliver that's going into the first sliver. Any slivers that can give me +1/+1 is pretty awesome. Sliver creatures, and this one says sliver creatures you control, as opposed to muscle sliver says all slivers get +1/+1. This one is the ones that I control. That's pretty awesome. Let's see, Pegasus Cursor. When it attacks another target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. Okay, that's interesting. This one is Grey Haven's Navigator. Yes, I have a pilot. Oh, right, I got a pilot. Flash. When Grey Haven's Navigator enters the battlefield, scry 1. You'll understand once I do Shorikai in a moment. Why why I'm happy to have that. Claim the Precious. Destroy target creature. The ring tempts you. Well, that's a good kill card. I still don't know what the temptation is. Another 10th Street Market, which is good because if I do decide to create another red deck, another red commander deck, I got another 10th Street Market to put into that. It's a pretty good card. Bad Deal. You draw 2 cards, and each opponent discards 2 cards for each player. Each player loses 2 life. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I'll see. For my ninja deck, and I got another moderation. You can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a card. So, all right. So there we go. There we go. That was all 15 of these mystery packs that PPG created for themselves. Some of them really stunk. In terms of the foil they give, because they gave foil lands, basic foil lands. I would not do that if I was a store owner. I would never put foil lands in there as the one foil offer, or the some of the cards are duplicates. Some of them are definitely helpful. Other than others, but that's what you get when you get a grab bag like this. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty fun, but I don't agree with using foil basic lands as your one foil card offer. I really don't agree with that. That's the one thing I don't agree with. The Eldrazi's, that's fine and everything, you know what I'm saying. But foil basic land, I think that's not right. People are paying money for this, and they're expecting, a legit card. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for a legit card, not a land to do that. So, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. But nevertheless, I got some pretty good, decent cards that can fit into the decks. And one of those I'm going to put to the side here because it's something that I want. And I got a couple of slivers and a couple of dinosaurs. So my decks are going to see some interesting stuff. I got some interesting red enchantments here. The tin... where's it at? Yeah, the Tin Street Market. I got 3 of these. So I got 2 red commanders going, and I can use that card draw power that the Tin Street Market is presenting. But yeah, this is it. This is all of the 15 boosters, the 15 mystery cards that I got from PPG games at AnimeNYC. So yeah, that's pretty. This is pretty much all the cards that I got at AnimeNYC at the various kiosks. So yeah, AnimeNYC was fun, and it was cool finding these cards. These were, well, not the Hive Lord, but most of these cards, like the Hive Stone, were $1. This one was the only most expensive one, $8. So yeah, I walked out gangbusters. Big time, and my commander decks are going to get nice and juicy. They're going to get nice and juicy. Here we go. All right. So let's take a look, finally. Thank you all for, being very patient. I'm sure many of you were waiting on the commander deck. All right. And I think I forgot to sort this out. No, it's all sorted out. Okay. So now it's time to do a quick tune-up of Shorikai Genesis Engine. Shorikai Genesis Engine. This is one. This is the only artifact in Magic the Gathering that can act as a commander. Commanders are always legendary creatures, but this one is the first of its kind to be a legendary artifact to act as a commander. You crew 8, which is the way crew works is your creature's power, their attack power. If you can total it 8 or more, you can tap all that you want. You can tap like 10 for 20, 20 power. It'll pay for the crew cost, and it'll turn your vehicle into an artifact creature, and then you could be able to attack with the creature. It also doubles up as a regular artifact, so I don't have to crew to use its effect, which is 1 tap, 1 mana, 1 tap, draw 2 cards, then discard a card, create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature token with this creature crews vehicles as though its power were 2 greater, which means that instead of crewing for 1 power, you're crewing for 3 power. And this is actually an excellent commander to play because of the fact that you could draw cards. Any commanders that let you draw cards is definitely excellent commanders. And if you build a deck around them, you're going to have a fantastic run in your pod. So that's Shorikai Genesis engine. Of course, we have the islands, and we have planes, 11 each. Wondering why I ran 11 each. Well, I'm kind of skirting on 33 lands. Oh no, I got 36 lands because I have a special type of land that I put in there. So there's planes, Mech Hanger, which is one colorless mana. At 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a pilot or creature spell, which is a major problem when it comes to pilot cards. And for 3 mana in the tap, you get target vehicle become an artifact creature until end of turn. So basically, I could turn all my vehicles into artifact creatures. Well, whichever one I choose, but I can activate them without the need of using the crew effect. All right, Coastal Tower comes with a play tap. I tap for white and blue. Sajiri Refuge comes with a play tap. I gain 1 life when it enters, and I can tap for white and blue. Razor Tide Bridge. It's indestructible, so it can't be destroyed. And enters the battlefield tap. I can tap for white and blue. Command Tower. It's rainbow. Tap for any color of my commander's identity, which is white or blue. Meandering River comes into play tap. I can tap for white and blue. Prairie Stream. I can tap for white and blue. It's a Plains Island land. It enters the play tap unless I control 2 or more basic lands, which is no problem. Port Town. As Port Town enters the battlefield, I can reveal a Plains or Island card to keep it from being tapped, or else it'll come into play tap. Gives me white or blue. Adakar Wastes. Add 1 colorless mana to the mana pool. Or I could tap for white and blue and take 1 damage. Tranquil Cove. Enters the battlefield tap. Gain 1 life when it enters the battlefield. Tap for white and blue. Temple of Enlightenment. Comes into play tap. I get to scry 1 when it enters, and I can type for white and blue. And then here is what people call the Urzatrons, or the Voltrons for those who want to be more specific. But I have Urza's Mind, which lets me tap for 1 mana, colorless mana. And if I have the Mind, the Power Plant, and the Tower, I get to do 2 colorless mana. Then I also have here the Tower, which gives me 1 colorless mana, and it'll let me tap for 3 if I have the Mind, the Tower, and the Power Plant on the field at the same time. And then here's the Power Plant, which gives me 1 colorless mana, and I could get 2 for having all 3 on the field. It's a little tough to get them all 3, but if you get all 3, you're basically unstoppable. You're near unstoppable. Replication Specialist. We're coming to the Artificers. Flying. Whenever a non-token artifact creature enters the battlefield, I may pay 2 mana. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that artifact. Very important for this deck. Well, I wouldn't say very important, but I say it's something that I want in my deck. It's something I want. Workshop Elders, Artificer. Artifact creatures you control have flying. At the beginning of your combat, you may target non-creature artifact you control. You may have target non-creature artifact you control become a 0/0 artifact creature. And if you do, put up 4+1/+1 counters. I think this is permanent because it's not saying until end of turn. So I could turn my artifacts into artifact creatures, 4/4 creatures, and that's a pretty big plus there. Katsumasa the Animator, legendary creature, Artificer, flying, 3 mana until end of turn. Target non-creature artifact you control becomes an artifact creature and gains flying. If it's not a vehicle, it has base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 3 target non-creature artifacts. This is actually a very excellent legendary creature, the Artificer. So if I don't use her effect to turn on a vehicle, then I could make any other artifacts a 1/1 creature for the until the end of the turn. and then I get to put +1/+1 counters on target non-creature artifacts. So that includes vehicles, because vehicles are not creatures until you crew them, and then they become become creatures. So that's a very very specific ruling there. It's got to be like a Sol Ring. You could turn your Sol Ring into a 4/4 artifact creature. Like that, and that's only because it wants to operate with the vehicles, but expand upon that. Riddle Smith: whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. A good card drawer there. Roller Rogue: when Roller Rogue enters the battlefield, create 2/1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creatures. Tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. Target creature can't be blocked this turn, which is a big deal. So I can use the Thopters that he creates as the payment cost to make one of my creatures unblockable, which is a big deal. Having unblockable creatures. Sai, Master Thopter is whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature with flying. Pay 2, sacrifice 2 artifacts, and draw a card. So every time I cast an artifact spell, I get a Thopter token, and I can always use that as fodder to get better cards, get draws. Cyberdrive Awakener. This is an artifact creature construct, flying. Other artifact creatures you control have flying. When Awakener enters the battlefield, until end of turn, each non-creature artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 4/4. So yeah, he basically this is a pretty freaking awesome card. Turns all the artifacts into artifact creatures with 4/4. Until the end of the turn, because it's coming into the battlefield. So if a well-timed Awakener with which makes all creatures flying and it itself flying, have enough artifacts, yeah, oh yeah, and that includes the vehicles, because they're not artifact creatures, so I could turn them into artifact creatures with 4/4 flying. It's a good kill card there. Armed Guard Familiar, Equipment Beast, artifact creature. Ward 2, which if it becomes the target of spells or abilities, your opponent has to pay 2 or else it's automatically countered. It's got equip +2/+1 and has Ward 2 on the equipped creature, which you pay the reconfigure cost, which is the equipment cost, but they call it reconfigure because this is a creature, not a regular artifact. Equipment artifact. Ethereum Sculptor, artifact spells cost 1 less to cast. Good cheap cost there. Mirror Shell Crab has Ward 3, so the opponent gotta pay 3 if they don't want their card countered when they target this. It has Channel, which I discard from the hand and pay 3 mana, and I could counter target spell or ability unless my opponent pays 3, which is pretty effective. Got Master Transmuter, 1 mana and a tap. Return an artifact you control to its owner's hand. You may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. So it's a good way to cycle back cards from the graveyard. It's a good way to get cards back in the graveyard. So in the sense of a word, since it says it returns to my hand, this is what makes it so excellent. I just pay 1 mana, tap this card. I return a Sol Ring. I return Sol Ring, which is 1 cost, and I could put back, say, something as big as a 6/6 artifact creature directly, no cost or anything, and then I could play the Sol Ring back again. Took well played, and it'll be done. The Reality Chip, legendary artifact creature, equipment jellyfish. I can look at the top card of my library at any time. As long as the Reality Chip is attached to a creature, I may play lands and cast spells from the top of my library. It's got it could equip a creature for 3 mana, reconfigure. Pretty powerful card draw. So this is where I'm having issues with this deck build, because I want pilots, not just only artificers, but I want pilots to work with, in addition to, of course, artifacts and artifact creatures. But the pilots are the ones, and they're very, very, very few. Surprisingly enough, for all the hype that they made with the vehicles and having cards like Shorikai create pilot creature tokens, they don't have a lot of pilot cards itself in white or blue. So this here is Kitsune Ace. Whenever a vehicle you control attacks, choose 1. Vehicle gains first strike until end of turn, or I can untap Kitsune Ace. in which then I could be able to use that ability again. Can I use that ability again? Yes. Yeah. I can use that ability again if I wanted to. Golden Scale Aeronaut. Back up. When this creature enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature. If that's another creature, it gains the following ability until end of turn. Flying. I don't understand what that means, and I'll need some clarifications on that. Next up is the Aeronaut Admiral. The Aeronaut Admiral. Let me rectify a little something here. There we go. All right. The Aeronaut Admiral. Flying. Vehicles you control have flying. That's it. Pretty good. Pretty good. Turn all those cards into that. Of course, the illustrious Wanderglyph, which I showed earlier in the show, which gives artifact creatures +2/+2 that have the city's blessing. And at the beginning of each upkeep, I could just create gnome artifact creature tokens, which is hilarious because I keep thinking bottle gnomes. This one is not an artifact or an artifice or anything, but I only picked it for now. But I'm most likely going to end up dropping it because I got myself a pilot. This is the Indomitable Archangel. It's an angel flying metalcraft. Artifacts you control have shroud as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. So it's very good because that means it can't be targeted by abilities and everything. But I'm still looking for like pilots and such. Hotshot Mechanic. It crews vehicles as those powers 2 greater. So instead of power 2, it's now power 4. So I could be able to crew vehicles like. We're not there yet. I thought we were there. Cataclysmic Gearhulk. It's Cataclysm, but an artifact creature. It's got vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, each player chooses an artifact, a creature, enchantment, planeswalker from among non-land permanents they control, and then sacrifice. So sacrifice the rest. So it's a Cataclysm, and that's a cool board wipe. Excuse me. Cloud Steel Kieran, artifact creature, equipment Kieran. It's got reconfigure 5. It's flying. When it equips a creature, the creature has flying, and the ability, the effect is you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. That's a pretty, trippy card, and I threw that in there. Iron Soul Enforcer, human samurai, artifact creature. Enforcer, whenever Iron Soul Enforcer or commander you control attacks alone, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Which is great because if I decide to crew Shorikai with this, and have the Shorikai attack alone, I can get a artifact card back. So that's pretty good. And the crew cost of Shorikai is 8, so it covers half the cost. Knighted Mirror. It has adapt. If this creature has no +1/+1 counters, then I put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on Knighted Mirror, it gains double strike until end of turn. So I gotta get more +1/+1 counters on it to get that. Is our next Artificer, Aisha Tanaka Armorer. When Aisha attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may put any number of artifact cards with mana value less than or equal to Aisha's power from among them onto the battlefield tab. Put the rest of on the bottom of the order. So every artifact I get, in this case here, because she has 2 or less, if I get a bunch of cards that are 2, I could throw the artifacts out there. But if I boost up her power, I could get more stronger artifacts out there without having to sacrifice the rest. So she needs +1/+1 counters in order for me to optimize that. Urza, Prince of Krug, Artificer. All artifact creatures I control get +2/+2. 6 mana. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact you control, except it's a 1/1 soldier creature in addition to its other types. So this is the second card that does this. Next up is Hana Ship's Navigator. For 3 mana and a tap. Return target artifact or enchantment card from the graveyard to my hand. Which is excellent. Another card retrieval. Recovery card. Coterie Pilot Prodigy, another pilot. Vehicles you control have crew 2. This is usually misunderstood. This effect is usually misunderstood. What it does is that it gives, it doesn't change the crew of the vehicles in and of itself. It adds this effect of crew 2. So Shorikai still has crew 8, but she gives it crew 2 as an option. That's what if I'm because it's not a replacement effect or anything. It's just adding the crew 2 effect, so you don't have to pay for it, and she can actually cover for it because she has 2 power, which is the whole entire theme around it. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target artifact creature you control gains lifelink and vigilance until end of turn, which is good for vehicles. You give vehicles that. When she taps for vehicles, she can grant that ability. Goldforged Thopteryx. It's a dinosaur Thopter, but it's blue-white, so I can't get it in, so I can't put it into my Dino deck. But it's got flying lifelink. Each legendary permanent I control has Ward 2, and I do have legendaries, a good chunk, but having them with Ward 2 is actually good. Could protect my legendary creatures and artifacts. Chrome Courier, flying. When Courier enters the battlefield, reveal the top 2 cards of my library. Put one of them into my hand, and put one and the other into the graveyard. If you put an artifact card into your hand this way, I gain 3 life. So yeah, it's a life gain, but it's a Kodama's Reach basically, but with but only goes into the graveyard. It's a graveyard Kodama's Reach. Okay, next up is Silver Mirror. Just add blue. Artifact creature, tap to add blue. Then I have Gold Mirror, which is a mirror, and I tap to add white. Straight up mana dorks. Cancel, which we've seen when I was doing the mystery pack opening. Counter target spell. The classic counter spell, which is just counter target spell. Counter target spell. Then Factor Fiction, another classic card draw. Reveal the top 5 cards of your hand. Your opponent, an opponent separates the cards into 2 piles, and then put 1 pile into the hand, the others into your graveyard. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Very classic. Another classic one is Brainstorm. Draw 3 cards, then put 2 from your hand on top of your library in any order, and you keep 1 into your hand. Very excellent. This is Favorable Winds. Creatures you control flying get +1/+1. Why do I have a card like that? Well, because I have Levitation, which all creatures I control gain flying. So it's a bit of a little combo card going there. Then I have the Thopter Spy Network. At the beginning of my upkeep, if I control an artifact, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature with flying. Whenever one or more artifact creatures I control deal combat damage, I draw a card. Very excellent enchantment card, especially since this is artifact heavy. So I'm always going to be generating Thopters with this. And I could be able to draw a card when I deal damage. Rhystic Study, very powerful and classic card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, I may draw a card unless that player pays 1. So it's a permission card. It's a permission card. Wrath of God, bury all creatures. I have artifacts, so I might lose a few creatures, but my opponents will lose a whole lot of creatures. Fumigate, destroy all creatures, gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. So again, another good creature wipe. And I don't have to worry with my artifacts, especially the ones that can help me recover. Even the enchantments. Ethereal Haze, prevent all damage will be dealt by creatures this turn. Akroma's Will. I choose 1. If I control a commander as I cast this, I may choose both. So since Shorikai is always going to come out, and it's very hard to destroy it because it's not a creature, it's an artifact until I crew it. I could get both very easily, and that is creatures I control gain flying, vigilance, and double strike until end of turn. Creatures I control gain lifelink, indestructible, and protection from all colors until end of turn. So if I paired this up with the construct that makes all permanents, that makes all artifacts 4/4 flying creatures with this, yeah, I could definitely destroy my opponent. Swords to Plowshares, another old classic. Exile target creature. Controller gains life equal to its power. I got a little artifact destroyer here called Divine Blessing. Destroy target artifact. Gain the amount of life equal to that artifact's total casting cost. Me. I get that. Then I have Knighthood. All creatures I control gain first strike, which is pretty awesome. And then I have Duelist Heritage. When one or more creatures attack, you may have target attacking creature gain double strike. So I could pick one card to do that. Mech Titan Core. This is a lot. So we're here with the vehicles now. Mech Titan Core. It's only 2 to tap, but I could pay 5 mana, exile the core, and 4 other artifact creatures I control, or vehicles that I control, and I create a Mech Titan. Legendary 10/10 construct artifact creature token with flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, and haste. That's all 5 colors. When that token leaves the battlefield, return all cards exiled with Mech Titan Core, except Mech Titan Core, to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control. That was a lot. That was a lot. But yeah, this is like the ultimate, and on its own, it's a crew 2, but you put it all together, and yeah, you got yourself one heck of a monster there. Here's the next vehicle, Prodigy's Protect. Whenever one or more vehicles you control attack, create a 1/1 colorless pilot creature with the ability, this creature crews vehicles power or 2 greater, and it's got crew 2, so another pilot builder. Mobilizer Mech, flying. When Mobilizer Mech is crewed, up to one other target vehicle you control becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. So it can crew a vehicle itself. Mindlink Mech, flying. Whenever the mech becomes crewed for the first time each turn until end of turn, mech becomes a copy of target non-legendary creature that crewed it this turn, except it's a 4/3 vehicle artifact in addition to its other types, and it has flying. So it basically copies your card that crewed it. This is oh yeah, I forgot about this one. This was another one that I got from the $1 pile. I got from the $1 pile at the AnimeNYC. I completely forgot about this one. This is called Silent Submersible. When it deals damage to a player or planeswalker, I draw a card. Crew 2. So yeah, anything that can let me draw a card would help. Parhelion 2, flying, first strike, vigilance. When Parhelion 2 attacks, create 2 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance that are attacking. So I'll always be able to create creatures with this card, which is crazy. It's crew 4. Whenever I attack, that's insane. Then I have Smuggler's Copter. When it attacks or blocks, I draw a card. If I do, discard a card. So it's Silent Submersible. Nice little assist there. And it only requires 1 crew. So that's why I picked up the Silent Submersible to complement the Copter. Weatherlight. This is a classic vehicle from the old days of Magic. Going back to, of course, it's a namesake set, the Weatherlight. Flying. Whenever Weatherlight deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. Reveal a historic card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. The historic cards, again, are artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. And since I have legendaries and a whole bunch of artifacts, this is a big boon for my deck. This one is Raider's Carve. When it attacks, I look at the top card of my library. If it's a land card, I can put into play tap. Crew 3. Very quick, very straightforward. This vehicle is Peace Walker Colossus. Tap for 3. Another target vehicle I control becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. And what's great is that it's a 3 mana. So for as long as I keep tapping 3 mana, I can make every single other vehicle, not just one, but multiple vehicles. Artifact creatures, and this is a 4 to crew it. All right, Mana Rocks. I got Seashell Cameo, taps for white and blue. Talisman of Progress. I can add 1 mana, generic mana, or I could tap for white and blue and take 1 damage. I have the Sky Diamond, which comes into play tap, but I could tap for blue. Marble Diamond, which comes into play tap, and I could tap for white. Sol Ring, which lets me tap for 2 generic mana. Metalworks. This is something that I added in the today, like last minute kind of thing. Mirror box. Whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under my control, I could pay 2, and if I do, I create a token that's a copy of that artifact. So if I put out Weatherlight, I can put out another Weatherlight. I think Weatherlight's legendary. Well, the car, a Sol Ring. If I put out a Sol Ring, I could copy a Sol Ring. There we go. And then I have the Mirage Mirror. Tap 2, Mirage Mirror becomes copy of artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until end of turn. So I could get myself a second, but only for the duration of the turn as opposed to a full token. So the 2 cards that are on this deck list that you're seeing here, that I replaced with the Metalworks and Mirage Mirror, the Mirrorworks and Mirage Mirror, is Padim, Console of Innovation, legendary creature, Artificer. Artifacts I control have hexproof, which is big. And at the beginning of my upkeep, if I control artifact with highest mana value or tied for the highest mana value, I draw a card. And then here's Muzio Visionary Architect. 3 and tap. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the highest mana value among artifacts I control. And I can put an artifact card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest in the bottom of the library. So this is like an instant drop. I don't have to... I don't have to pay for any additional mana. I just have to draw... I just have to look at the top cards, which has the highest mana value. So if I had Shorikai out, then I would draw 4 cards, and then I can put out a card in there. So from the cards that I got here, from AnimeNYC, these little mystery packs, I got Elf Pilot, and this is one of the cards that I'm looking for are pilots. When Grey Haven's Navigator enters the battlefield, scry 1 flash. It's interesting that it's a pilot but doesn't have pilot abilities like the aeronauts. So I don't know if it's really worth the trouble, given that it's a pilot. But I'm looking for pilot cards because pilots can, pilot vehicles. At least that's what they're supposed to do. So I'm a little shocked that it's called an elf pilot, but it's not doing piloty things like it should. So I don't know if I'm going to squeeze that in there, if it's worth the squeeze compared to, say, the aeronaut. Let's see here. Compared to... Here we go. Compared to Kitsune Ace, which manipulates vehicles, or... the Aeronaut Admiral, which gives vehicles flying. But because I have the great Golden Scale Aeronaut, it's kind of weird seeing the pilot types. I think they still haven't figured out what to do with them. So I'll have to reconsider having pilots in there. Like, I can still have pilots, but they're probably just not going to be the central focus like I want them to. Because I wanted to have pilots with the vehicles because it makes sense. You're playing a vehicle deck, you're piloting. But if pilots are not going to do like Kitsune Ace and do just only this, then I don't really see the full purpose here. Because playing with artificers are actually way more crazier by comparison. Like, I can still keep the pilots, but only the ones that manipulate vehicles. If I squeezing these guys in, because I could give artifacts hexproof, and I can actually put an artifact into play for 4 mana for free. It's pretty also looking at my library, that's actually a pretty solid thing. So I'll have to take this all into consideration. But that is Shorikai. So I'm looking for more artificers, especially on white artificers, and I'll have to reconsider, and I probably might end up limiting the pilots, but still keep the pilots, nevertheless. So yeah, if you have any suggestions for white artificers, I know I have Scryfall to look at, but point is, comment down below and tell me what you think about all these cards that I got, and what you think of my Shorikai deck. Man, and make sure to like and subscribe if you like this content here on YouTube. So this was a fun time. AnimeNYC was definitely cool. It was surprising finding Sliver Hive Lord. That was pretty cool finding that card. But finding the Hive Stone for $1 and Satoru Umezawa, that was a big steal, big time steal from cards like that. So, with that said, I thank you all for joining me. I thank everyone in chat for joining me. And I wish you all a good night, a buenas noches, and oisuminsai.